What's up, tuties? Welcome to the tutorial number 3. We are Ngọc Anh, Chu Đạt, and Hải Dương from E2E project, Faculty of English Language Teacher Education, University of Languages and International Studies. Before coming to the main content of the tutorial today, I want everyone to take part in a small activity. The rule is so simple. On the screen, you will see a short reading text, and your task is to note down as many details as possible in 1.5 minutes. After that, when the time is over, you will have to answer some questions related to the content of the text using your own notes. Be sure you all have the papers and pens in your hand before we start this activity. Now, you have to answer 4 true-false questions on the screen. You will have 45 seconds to do that. Your time starts now. We hope that you all get the correct answer to every question. The key will be provided in a later part of the tutorial, so stay tuned.
Whenever you are reading a text, you should be constantly noting the important details. When discussing reading comprehension, think of details as the individual features, facts, or particulars in the text. These details are essential to develop reading comprehension. For instance, in the popular fairy tale Cinderella, imagine if you missed the detail of the lost glass slipper. Would Prince ask women to try on a glass slipper in order to find true love make any sense without that detail? Of course not. Not all reading selections are as simplistic as Cinderella, so you may be wondering how to tackle detailed questions. Typically, when dealing with a long reading, you could easily be confused and find hard to find information. Don't worry, we are here. We're really excited to produce this video for you on the detailed question in the reading comprehension.
A reading comprehension usually contains 3 to 4 detailed questions, which account for 30% of total score. So, it's very important to handle this task. The common types of detailed questions you are likely to meet in these step reading tests include stated and unstated detailed questions. Before digging deeper into 2 main types of detailed questions, we will get into the scanning strategy and its steps first. Scanning is reading a text quickly in order to find specific information. For example, figures or names. It can be contrasted with skimming, which is reading quickly to get a general idea of meaning. So first, let's think about why we might use a scanning strategy. Scanning is useful if you need to find specific information quickly, such as numbers, dates, names, etc., without reading and understanding the whole passage. Additionally, scanning is highly recommended in the case you want to find the correct answer after using skimming strategy to understand the main idea of the passage. So, how do you scan? First, as with all reading tasks, we need to identify our purpose. In this case, what information we need to find. This could be key terms or phrases, concepts or particular sections. Next, scan the text by running your eyes quickly over the page looking for information you need. Ignore everything else and don't read every word. When you find what you're looking for, read the information and sentences around it. Finally, decide if this paper is relevant to your purpose. Does it answer your questions? Is it specific enough for your task? If yes, read in more detail. If not, discard it and move on. Now, let's correct the exercise in the beginning of the video. In this section, you may use scanning strategy to answer the question. Remember, don't try to read every word. Run your eyes over the paper until you notice the keywords you're looking for. Let's start. Pause the video and try to scan the text as quickly as possible to find the information on coronavirus. When you found it, continue the video. How did you do? Did you find it quickly? Does scanning work to you? Here's how I approached the test. From the questions, I identified the key term as coronavirus, outbreak, and spread. I scanned, looking only for these terms. Once I found them, I read 1 to 2 sentences around them. And here is the answer. Did you have the same answer with me? If yes, congratulations. If no, don't worry. Try more, practice more. This strategy would help you much in your reading. Believe me. Now that you have the basic knowledge in scanning strategy, let's come to types of detailed question with the help of my partner.
As Hải Dương stated from the video, there are 2 common types of detailed questions. They are stated detailed questions and unstated detailed question. I am Ngọc Anh and I will help you with stated detailed questions. A stated detailed question asks about one piece of information in the passage, rather than the passage as the whole. The answers to this question are generally given orderly in the passage, and the correct answer is often a restatement of what is written in the passage. This means that the correct answer often expresses the same idea as what is written in the passage, but the words are not exactly the same. Now let's look at some signs of stated detailed question. This type of question usually start with phrases such as according to the passage, or it is stated in the passage that, the passage indicates that, or which of the following is true. The answers to this question are found in order in the passage. Now let's look at steps helping you deal with this type of questions. Step 1. Choose and underline the keywords in the question. Step 2. Skim the appropriate part of the passage for the keyword of the idea. Step 3. Read the sentence that contains the keyword of the idea. And finally, step 4. Eliminate the definitely wrong answers and choose the best answer from the remaining. Again, shall we do another example task? You are recommended to pause the video to do this task. You may restart the video until you find your own answer. Try to do as quickly as possible. TOT, how do you do? Do you find any difficulties in scanning and find the information? Don't worry, we'll figure it out together. At this time, I tackle this question step by step. The answers to the first question are generally found in order in the passage, so you look for the answer to the first question near the beginning of the passage. This question asks what the passage indicates about Jamestown, so you know what the answer to this question will be directly stated in the passage. You should skim through the passage to find the part of the passage that discusses Jamestown. The answer to this question is found in the statement that William Byrd was settled by English colonists in 1633, 26 years after the first permanent English colony in America was settled in Jamestown. So the best answer to this question is answer C, because the passage directly states that Jamestown was the first permanent English colony in America. The answer to the second question will probably be located in the passage after the answer to the first question. Since the second question is about why the colonists chose William Byrd, you should skim through the passage to find the part of the passage that discusses this topic. The answer to this question is found in the statement that the site of William Byrd had been selected by the colonists because the soil drainage was better there. The first answer is not correct because William Byrd was in America than England. The second answer is not correct because William Byrd was located close to 2 rivers. And the third answer is incorrect because there were fewer mosquitoes. It is stated in the passage that the soil drained well. So the last answer is the best answer. Have you got the right answer? Wow, the feeling of delivering the right answer to the question in reading is amazing. Yes, and so we have gone through stated detailed questions. Now I will leave stage for my partner, Chu Đạt, with unstated detailed questions.
Hey tutors, I will inform you with the other type of detailed questions, which is unstated questions. You will sometimes be asked in the reading sections to find an answer that is not stated or not mentioned, or not true in the passage, while one answer is not. You should note that there are two kinds of answer to this type of questions. Number 1. There are 3 true answers and 1 that is not true according to the passage. Number 2. There are 3 true answers and 1 that is not mentioned in the passage. Now, let's come to indications that help you recognize this type of questions. These questions may begin with phrases such as, which of the following is not true? All of the following are true except. Which of the following is not stated? Which of the following is not mentioned? Or which of the following is not discussed? Like stated detailed questions, the answer to the questions are found in order in the passage. To continue with, I will provide you with some steps when tackling these questions. Like stated detailed questions, first, you have to choose and underline the keywords in the questions. Then, scan the appropriate place in the passage for the keyword or related idea. Read the sentence that contains the keyword or idea very carefully. However, in step number 4, you have to look for answers that are definitely true according to the passage to eliminate those answers. And in final step number 5, you have to choose the answers that is not true or not discussed in the passage. Now, let's do some exercises. You can pause and continue the video until you find the correct answer. How is it going? Do you find it easier to apply these steps? Shall we check the answer together? The first questions ask for the one answer that is not mentioned about the Florida Keys. The passage states that the Florida Keys are a chain, which is answer A, with coral and limestone, which is answer B, in the shape of an arc, which is answer C. So the answers are not correct. Therefore, the best answer to the questions is answer D. The passage does not discuss whether or not the keys are all inhabited. The second question asks for the answers that is not true about US Highway 1. The passage states that it is called the Overseas Highway, which is answer A. That it has 42 bridges, which is answer C. And that it covers the 159 miles from Miami to Key West, which is answer D. So the answers are not correct. The bad answer is answer B. The passage states that the Overseas Highway connects the main islands in the chain, so it does not connect all of the islands.
So, that is pretty much all we want to provide in our lesson today. In case we lost you somewhere, what mentioned in the lesson was definitions of scanning and 2 common types of detailed questions. Hopefully, these examples have shown that by scanning, we were able to find the information we needed more quickly without reading the whole test. Practice makes perfect. So we have some exercises attached here to help you master this type of question. Should you have any questions about this lesson, do not hesitate to contact us. It is our pleasure to answer your questions. So, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much. Hope you like it and see you again in our next tutorials.